Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So as usual, what you want to do when you start off your client is part her into 4 sections. That's what I'm going to do right now. And then we will get into the root retouch. Then we're going to start with applying the root base color, which is basically about a 3N. So I had to mix a 1N, like a smidge of 1N, some 4N, and some 3N. And that basically made her like a 2.5, something around there. So just slightly under a 3. She likes to be super dark. So definitely know how to work with your colors and know how to mix colors, because you can definitely create all sorts of colors, especially if you don't have an exact number, but that's why they're made a certain way. So you can mix a 1 with a 3 and make a 2. So basically that's what I did. And the 4 in there just kind of brightens it up a little bit. So starting at the back quadrant, you just work at the nape all the way up, and you just do horizontal sections and hit your root and both top and bottom. I like to do both top and bottom of the hair, and hopefully you do too. Make sure it's fully saturated and get that color smushed in there. So I'm just going to work through the head as you see, and we shall fast forward and get to the fun stuff. Right here I did make a boo-boo, and I realized how to correct it next time. So I slapped all her hair across the where there's already hair dye, so all her little blondes, like some of them were splotchy, and I was like, what the heck happened? So if I would have held it in my left hand like how I did it in the back, it would have been fine. So just FYI, I tried to avoid that situation as well. I just had to go over it with a little bit of bleach to take out the darkness, since it was such a fresh pigment. So now the fun part. Basically, she didn't want to bring her blonde up any higher, but she wanted her ends to be super, super light. So I'm going in here with 20 volume bleach and Jack One Pro. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the name. I almost called it Brazilian. Brilliant lightener. Sorry, not Brazilian. I'm kind of tired. Sorry. 10:30 at night, and I'm editing this after doing 2 appointments and working all week. Anyways, so I am sandwiching her foils, and I should have left her very, very ends out of the foil just because those would lift super duper fast, but they were totally fine. I checked the integrity the entire time, but it's just more of a heads up for you guys as well. Like, that's kind of the rule of the game. So definitely feel it out for your client, but definitely usually, and you end up clipping the ends off sometimes anyway, so as long as they're up for a trim that day, then you're fine, but you do kind of want to pay attention to that sort of thing. And then you're just looking for the lighter ends to be even lighter. So like I said, I hit every single end. I didn't have to tease or anything since the placement was already put in place from her previous sessions. And I just went to town with lightener and kind of beat it out, and would just kind of do every other section kind of different. That way it would stagger and not just be blunt. And so here, you actually want to make your bleach a little bit thicker when you're working with fine hair. Just, if you guys couldn't tell, her hair's a little bit on the finer side, and her ends are like slightly disappearing. You still want to keep the sections super thin and make sure that you can control each section. You don't want to like just slam a bunch of hair in it. And this is a good example too. Like, if you ever just are not seeing a cute, like the bleach is just gulpy clumpy, and then it's gonna look funky. However it looks in the foil is how it's gonna look when you're done. So I combed it out and then I redid it. You're definitely able to restart once you bleach something. It's not like it's like you can't do it again. So if you kept it that way and then you didn't change it, then yeah, you can't really, there's no turning back from that. But you can actually correct your mistake if you do notice something. She did have some curls on her hair too, so it was a little difficult to get this into foils, but probably my bad. I should have just clipped it with a straightener before I started. So it's funny how we accidentally work harder than smarter when we're, you know, not trying to do the extra step. Remember, if you are not teasing the hair, you have to feather the crap out of it. So it's almost like, are you really good at feathering the hair? Because if not, you definitely do have to tease, because even though her sections were already kind of in place, there's still a possibility of creating a line between that golden blonde and the lighter blonde. So I wanted to make a side note, because I mentioned that I didn't really have to tease anymore. But again, it's really if you're patient with feathering. So that I am. Before we get to really toning, when I rinsed her out, all of that dark hair immediately toned her blonde hair because it was so porous and ready to take on color. So I did grab Malibu Sea Undo Goo, and I just shampooed her ends only because I didn't want to mess up her actual fresh color. And that took it right out. So in case you guys are in a jam and you notice something overtakes or overtones, that's a quick little guy. Also, Quick Fix by Malibu Sea is a good one, but I didn't have to go that far. So just a quickie for you guys. So I actually was able to tone with a 10.1x. I've honestly never gone anyone to the point of where I can tone with a 10. Just want to put that out there because I kind of watch the forums daily, and I notice sometimes that people tone 1, 2, 3, 4 levels higher than where they're actually lifted to. And it has a lot to do with what they were taught in school, and I'm not like I never make anyone feel bad, because who knows if like I was ever that person, or if like tonal like reference was wrong. Like if you don't see the hair and you don't see that it's not a 9 or whatever, then yeah, you'll make tone wrong. But if you clearly know that it's a 7 and you're toning with a 9, there's definitely something wrong there, because you can't do that. So I was finally able to tone her with a 10, and I was so excited. And then when it actually came out, I was like even more excited. So I did mix it with a 20 volume, because I looked at the manufacturer's instructions. This is by Jack1 Pro, and it did say it was a high lift. So in my head, I was like, well, I can lift her even higher. Why not, you know? So I did definitely put 20 just in case. I didn't want to do 10, because if it did lift, I wanted to get like maximum blondness for her, because that's what she wanted. And can I tell you how happy her face was? I have never seen her that happy when she saw her hair. So I was super excited, because I usually am really afraid to take people to blonde, and I was definitely not worried about her integrity the entire appointment. And that's one of, again, a first for me. So that's an aha moment, and I love to share that with people, because when you do have those moments, it's like, yeah, that's why I do hair. This is why I know things. So it was a really good appointment, really good, awesome outcome. I'm just painting it on, as you see. I'm not putting anything else on there. I wasn't worried about it doing anything to her upper levels, because it is definitely like a 7, and then obviously you guys saw that I put like a 3 on her, so how could it lift anything? I mean, I had a moment where I was like, huh, that'd be interesting, right, if it did lift. But it didn't, so, you know, all was fine. So then I just wanted to kind of clean and then say hi to you guys on camera. So I am trying to take care of my skin right now. That's why I have no makeup on. I so apologize for that. And then I also need to get to the gym, as I noticed. Looking at these footage, I'm like, ooh. But, you know, it happens. So I'm just sweeping up, and she's just processing it on her phone as usual. So we had an overall good day, and then we will show you the end result in just a few.